Today I'm going to be talking about Michael Bruce Ross. Michael Bruce Ross didn't have the best relationship with his mom. She was very abusive to him and his siblings, and especially him. The parents would split up, and he would end up living with his dad. His nephew would essay him, and the nephew would go on to end his life at just the age of 14. Bruce was a type, people would say he was charming. He had girlfriends and he was even engaged. So people were very deceived by him. But his first victim was a young 25-year-old who she grew up with him. She would play on the family farm, but he would go on to kill her. The second victim was 16-year-old, and her name was Paula, and people around her loved her. They would talk about how sweet she was, but she was bullied in school. She tried to end her life, and the kids in school would make fun of her and call her Tylenol girl. So because of that, she would always avoid the bus. So she would hitchhike, and one day when she was hitchhiking, Michael picked her up and he took her life. A police officer that was off duty, he went up to her door and he asked to borrow her phone because, well, if he could come in and use the phone because his car had broke down. So when she let him in, he attacked her, and she's pregnant. So she fought him off and ended up calling the police. Well, he did a little bit of jail time, but he didn't do a lot. And then he would get out. He would go on to kill a young woman that was she was just leaving her boyfriend's house, and he got her. There were these two young girls, and they were just got done watching a movie, and they decided to walk home instead of calling their dad, and Michael picked them up and he took both of their lives. And he even said that one was more like his fantasies than any of them, and that's disgusting. He would get caught though because his last victim, they identified his car following her, and that is how he got caught. When he was on trial, they tried to use the mental health, but it didn't work. And he would go on to decide to give up all appeals once he was in prison because he said he felt like the families had been through enough, but then he changed his mind. So they tried to do the mental health defense again, and it didn't work again. And in 2005, he was sentenced to death.